side of things, it's like nobody likes it, nobody gets it. It doesn't seem like anybody really wants to get it or understand it. Like, I don't know, and that's, I feel like that's pretty interesting. I don't know, because it's like, but see, at the same time though, like
Well, I don't
everybody,
say that, but most people really don't think the way I do about stuff. Like when I bring this up with other people, they generally just think I'm being a little bit too like uptight or just like too nostalgic
yeah,
or a little like just hateful of new things.
yeah, we're too uptight, but in different directions. Like, because no, it's funny because I guess then
You're right.
like
People don't like when I say older was better.
yeah, but I see. I think that's kind of stupid though. Like I think a lot of people I know though they might say that older's better. Like I don't know. I feel like that's I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
there's definitely a larger group for what I'm saying. Like it's still a minority, but there's a larger group from my point of view than for what you're saying.
yeah, and that's what I'm. But I don't know. Like but you do you not agree with? Because I feel like we would both agree on the cyclical nature of things. That like there's just a cyclical nature, and you can't really perpetuate anything. Like you know, like you're. I mean, you're what you're saying is true, but is it really possible to implement those things and like nothing? You know, they would actually stay that good for a long term. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
I
it's like
think what you're saying is inevitable.
yeah,
That's
like
what yeah, I do agree that
it's like a
what you're
cycle. It's
saying is
just
inevitable, and there is
yeah.
that cycle will continue, and it's like it's always happened. And I think that, like you said, what you're saying will happen, will eventually happen. It will bring about total destruction, and we'll be back to square one. It'll all happen again, and I totally agree with that. But I think that even knowing that it's inevitable shouldn't prevent us from trying to prevent that destruction. I
Yeah,
think
well,
trying to
I
like
think
hold on to like a golden age for as long as possible is kind of like your response, like there was like someone's responsibility to try to withstand and like realize what's going on and try to help people fit within like, hey, let's try to just run society within this like within a way that we know works for as long as we can.
is the braking electronic as well.
In the new cars,
Yeah, like is my car is there not a brake line? Is it like just electronic?
I'm not completely sure.
Yeah, I wonder.
I think there is it is electronic in a lot of cars. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's electronic
Yeah,
these
I have
days.
a
Yeah,
feeling it is, but I wonder if the minis was cuz like I wonder if it just felt like different. But I know the mini was pretty
I'd
like
have to
tech.
feel it. Well, I remember when I drove the Mazda and I said to you, I feel like I could just brake in any way I want and the car would just slow down at the correct speed.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I said that? I said like, remember I remember saying that like, dude, the braking feels really weird. It feels like I could just like literally press it any amount and it would just brake for me. I remember saying like this exact like, yeah, it's very
It
much like
probably is.
electronic.
Yeah,
I'm really
but
sure.
the mini might be I don't know cuz it has the electric throttle, but it may have kept the cuz
I I'd have to feel it, but I think it has brake lines. I think it's the
yeah,
hydraulic.
yeah, yeah. Um
I would have to feel it, but I think it's hydraulic.
Yeah, no, I have a feeling because when I use this car, like the braking, it just felt like better. You know, like it felt very smooth. And the Mini,
Yeah, I think
I
it
didn't get that.
compensates for you.
Yeah, but see, I again, what's is interesting about you bringing it up, like for me personally, I definitely should just have the mechanical ones because if you're saying it's just easier to fix. It's just like I wouldn't even need the electric with how I drive. And it would just probably make more sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
I don't
probably right.
I probably like the electric a little more, but if we're talking about cost savings and like just I think out of anybody I'm like a prime candidate for just going with the mechanical.
Well, here's the other thing though about the electronic. Going is like you know how you say, "Oh, go as easy as possible on the
Yeah.
brake and gas." That's that still takes advantage of the electronic. Like when
Yeah,
you're using
yeah.
mechanical, you have to have like a perfect balance. You need a very good balance of in between. You can't just be overly gentle or overly harsh.
Okay.
You have to. There's like a balance. You have to
But
like
see,
understand
I have a
what the car is,
feeling
what's demanded of the car at any given time.
of any candidate, my theory is I'm at the top of the list for handling it. I don't know about the manual shifting. I mean that I like my electronic manual, but but in terms of the pedals, like I think if anybody I don't know anybody who's put as much attention into the pedals as me. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't know.
I'm back.
You know, I actually just thought of
Except I'm not
something.
connected to the internet for some reason.
Well, you're connected.
There we go.
You're connected. Um,
Yeah, I'm back.
what I wanted to say is something interesting to what we were talking about. Like, you wouldn't want to live in a reality where, let's say, like you could have a pet dog, but you just, you know, you had a robot that basically did everything for you, and you didn't even need to know a thing about like that the dog even needs food or that the dog has to be walked, and like you didn't need to walk it,
Hmm.
but you had this nice pet, and you didn't even need to know a thing about it. Like, is that does that not seem like
Criminal.
it
It is
doesn't?
extreme. That's honestly even worse than owning a car and not knowing anything about it.
You're like it's actually even worse. It's even worse because now you're
Yeah,
dealing
I
with a
think that
living
is
creature,
insanely. Yeah, like
a
that is
living.
absurd. That is beyond like problematic.
Yeah, I guess you know.
I would say borderline criminal behavior, honestly.
But I really feel like that's. I think people are really gonna jump on that. I think that's something people would really, really be happy about. Like owning a
I think
pet,
you're right.
you know,
I
having
think
a
you're right.
cat, never needing to change the litter, having the cat, never needing to change the litter because the robot, you don't even know what litter is. You don't even know. I mean, do you not like. Now, if I could.
Listen. I agree. People are gonna jump at the
They're
opportunity
gonna
if
flock
they're
on
if they're.
that. They're gonna flock to that.
I agree that there people jump at the opportunity to have like a robot to take care of their dog. I'm sure, and that is like the worst possible thing ever. Like I think that would be the worst. Like that would be like one of the worst things humanity ever does
Can
if they
you
turn to doing something like
explain
that.
like why? Because like, what if the robot could take care of the dog better than you could? You still think that's like a bad? Like, what if the robot? Because a lot of people don't treat their pets properly, you know, because they're lazy
Yeah,
or and you
and
don't.
that they're charged with that.
What do you mean they're
Yeah, they
chart?
like they well not necessarily charged. It's sort of like they're held responsible for the abuse of an animal. Like people look very people frown on that very harshly. Like that is not really.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
but that's what I'm
you
saying. So
can't do that.
if you have a robot that treats it perfectly, then, what, like, how is that bad? How is that a problem?
Well, that's it. That sounds good when you're like saying, "Oh, what about the people that like are really like that don't take care of their pets?" And it's like, well, yeah, it's like obviously having something that does it, it's actually something that does more than zero is obviously going to be better, right? But in a general like case, right? If you own a pet or have a pet, that pet is essentially like part of your family. It is solely your responsibility to care for and raise and just like, completely take care of this pet that you have. This is a sentient being that has, you know, not this on our level, but it does have thoughts and feelings and can make decisions. And it is completely irresponsible to turn a sentient being over to a machine when like just completely deprive it of like the general basis of like raising a family member. Like this animal is completely innocent and devoid of any just like inherently evil thought and still has feeling, and you're just going to say, I don't want to deal with you, so I'm going to have something else take care of you instead. Like that is just completely immoral, like terrible human behavior.
and
Like that's like
extract
saying
and
I
extract
want
just
a
the good.
child without
Yeah,
like people
yeah,
have already
and
done this before.
yeah,
People have done this before
and you
where
do the
they
robot
they
raise
don't
the
want to raise their no, no, they
and
don't
then
want to raise their kids. So it's like I want a kid, but I don't want to actually have to do anything. And you've seen this before in movies or in history where like someone who's really rich will hire a maid or a butler or something to raise this child because they don't want to have to deal with it. And what happens when now let's say your pet or child in either circumstance is supposed to spend time with this family member that essentially owns them? There's no emotional or like connection there. You don't really belong to this person. This person doesn't care about you. And it's just totally immoral. Like honestly, it's abusive to whoever's involved. Like that is insane. You're like either like any child that's been in that situation has essentially been like abused and like their life's kind of been just ruined. And that the same thing goes for that animal. Like how is that animal or pet supposed to spend time with their owner when all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm being raised by a robot and now this human expects me to spend time with them? It's like
I was
the
thinking
dog or the
about
dog or
that.
cat's
I
not going to be able to coherently explain that.
Yeah, no,
They're not going to want to be around them.
I was thinking like the dog could get bonded to the robot, and then, then that
Yeah, but
could.
here's the thing, like it to us it's like, oh well, human like really bonds with this robot. Like animals don't, they're not gonna bond with a machine the way we would. They can the animals have a much better sense of knowing when something is alive than we do. Like
Yeah,
we
that would
we see
actually be
very human
interesting.
characteristics in non-living beings, which is an extremely uniquely human thing. Extremely uniquely human to see like living characteristics in non-living beings. Like animals don't do that. This dog would be completely deprived of what it perceives to be like attention. It's extremely abusive. Like there's no way that anyone should do that. But I'm sure people will. I'm sure this will happen, and people will jump on the opportunity, and it's going to be terrible. It's going to be one of the worst things to ever happen.
Interesting. So you don't think a robot could just do better, and then there's some kind of argument that it's ethically better.
I seriously think that a dog or cat or any pet needs a living being to take care of it. And it's also that person's responsibility to do so. And of course, in niche circumstances, like people that completely neglect their pets or are abusive, then of course having anything is better than having nothing. So,
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have to walk it.
okay. So, your point?
No,
That's going to be the advertisement.
You don't
Have
even
all the
need to
fun.
walk
Have
it
all the fun. Have all the fun of like
with none of the
all the upsides.
downsides.
None of the downsides. No responsibility. Anything that ever promises you get all the upsides with none of the downsides is just such a problematic thing. Like that is a lie.
Well, what if
There
it
is
what
in
if
no
it
situation.
what if it was true though? Like you still think it's problematic if that was possible?
It's not. It's just if it was magically true that there were zero downsides, that'd be great. But that's never happened. There's
Well,
never
no,
been
I'm
anything
saying
ever.
what do you think would happen to like a human for example if you could just eliminate all downside? Like what would happen? No
I think
consequence,
that
no pain, no.
humans become very lazy and unintelligent. I think having adversity is what makes us into what we are. Like
Well, I
without
think
any
to an
adversity, we
extent,
just become useless blobs that just get super lazy and don't do
I
anything.
think it has to be like quality adversity. Like I think in a lot of cases it's like I don't know, some people deal with stress or problems and it's just like either too much for them or and then it's like not.
Well, human beings as a whole, as just a species, thrives on adversity.
Well, don't you think though it's more like a reasonable amount of adversity, like not.
A
Yeah,
survivable
like a
adversity.
reasonable, not you know, because I think
As long as
some
it's
people,
survivable,
yeah,
that's what matters. If the birth rate is higher than the death rate, the adversity will make the civilization better and improve at a faster rate, and the species will just simply get better. It's That's just how the downside of saying well, here's all these things with no downside. That's why I always say there's always a downside, because even if there's no downside, in just in an immediate sense there's no downside, the downside ends up being that the human gets worse overall, just eventually.
eventually.
Yeah, that's hey, well, think of it like this, right? Think of civilizations that live closer to the equator versus civilization that live closer to the poles, right? Which civilization do we think advanced further, right? You could say, oh, look at this geographical area in the world. There's no downside to living here. And then you look and it's well, your civilization never advanced for centuries, thousands of years. No advancements in millennia, right? But there's no downside to living here. It's great to live here. There's no downside. Yeah, the downside is now you're 1,000 years behind in evolution.
Well,
You're not even millions of years
why
behind
didn't
in
you
evolution.
why didn't you mention this to me when I was talking about the homelessness stuff?
Why would I need to bring that up?
Well, because it would have kind of like you could have said like, I get that you're trying to escape adversity, but instead of becoming homeless, you need to strike back. Like, why didn't you say anything like that?
You need to strike back.
Like, you need to like strike against the comfort you're seeking. Why didn't you like tell me that?
I don't know.
Because that
I
was
didn't think of
remember.
it
I
like
mean,
this.
we remember from. I mean, we didn't know this man, but we knew of him. Um, and he moved to California, and he was able to reside in the streets
Oh,
and
okay.
walk in,
That's survival right there.
take a couple, and leave. You just walk in and take them. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I
talking.
take a couple and leave. Don't feel bad about it.
That's what I forgot. Don't feel bad about it. I forgot the rest of the
Yeah,
line.
there's a difference between trying to do the most with what's presented with you and purposely putting yourself in bad situations.
No, but what did you think about? We didn't know him, but we knew of him.
That was good. And you said California. I'm like, oh boy.
Did you actually? Did you figure it out that
Anyone
fast?
genius.
Did you figure?
As soon as you said we moved to California, I knew exactly who you were talking
We didn't
about.
know him, but we knew of him.
The brave decision to move to California.
Yeah, except then
No
then
money,
it was
no
all
ID,
it was
no
just
roof.
it was all like a dumb facade though, because then they're just like, oh yeah, but his mom's been giving him money, and then it's just like,
Yeah,
okay,
she kept calling her and she would just send him money.
yeah, so it's like they present it like this guy is like so much more special than he was.
Well,
Like,
they weren't saying he was special.
well,
They were
he
just trying
seemed.
to present
Look, he
himself.
seemed pretty special. Like, I don't know, dude. He
He was
seemed pretty.
funny.
He seemed pretty special. I see people in these streets doing theoretical physics and solving equations.
Mathematical equations.
No, but you know, like
He's out here in the street.
I'm saying, like, when he was selling himself, did he mention, oh yeah, and I asked my mom for money? Like, he didn't.
He would never mention
He
that.
didn't mention that
He
part
wouldn't
of
do
it.
that.
It's just like,
Name one genius ain't great.
oh my gosh, yeah, seeing that, I should not have been exposed to that video. That video was not, that it was not
He's
good.
like, I'm the type of person that purposely puts himself into a bad situation just so I can learn from my mistake. And it's like, what? I purposely put myself in bad situations just to learn. I learn experiences, street smarts.
Street smart. Oh
I
my.
got thousands of miles on these shoes.
What was the other thing? It was like, he's like, I go to parties and it's like, no, I don't got to ride, just stay.
You don't let them know.
Yeah, you don't let them know. Just stay. It's fine.
You don't let them know, fool. You don't let them know.
You ain't gotta ride. Just stay. Just stay. Oh my gosh, I haven't thought about him in a while.
At the end of the video, you say, "I am not a square."
Yeah, was there something more to that?
He's like, I may look like the American Dream,
Oh, okay.
but I'm not, because the American Dream Boy is square, and I am not a square.
Yeah, but that's like literally, it's just
He's
like,
I'm a rapper.
I honestly, he's pretty square. Like, I think it's pretty square to be able to get money from your parents.
I'm a freelance rapper.
I think getting money from your parents is very square. It's very much the American dream.
Waste it all on drugs. And
Yeah, that's very much, it's pretty square. Like, I don't know, dude. Dude, I haven't thought about him in so long. I have not, like, the last time we talked about him was I assume whenever we called, like, I was probably in the mini, and I probably brought him up, or you brought him up or something. I mean, I haven't thought about that guy in forever. But
survival right there.
I should not, that video was not a good influence on me. I mean, that guy, like, I think I would have been a better person if I had just never seen that video. I just
Is it heart in my pocket? Is that something? No, it's like heart in my locket, like diamonds in my pocket. $20 million dream on the docket, or something like that. Just stupid. Heart in my locket, diamonds in my pocket, 20 million dream on the docket. He's like, people say I'm a dreamer, but I don't have dreams, I have visions, so I'm a visionary. I gotta go to California tonight.
Dude, and we never found the episode. Like that, it's crazy. Remember, like
It's not available.
we
It's
would,
not
I
available.
would, wouldn't we happily pay for it?
I
Like,
would like, and I
like,
remember saying like I was like looking up if like you could call like the office and
yeah,
like
like,
say I will pay you, and then apparently someone said they tried it and they wouldn't give it to him.
it's
It's
just
like
so weird.
it's
Like,
unviable. It's unviable. Like you can't get the episode.
yeah, I don't know. I just, it's so sad. And we tried finding it like over the years so many times. Like,
I might have to eventually just call and be like,
is
look,
it literally that
I
you
need
would have had
my
to have taped
episode.
it? Like, is that literally the only avenue? If you had
Yeah,
had,
someone out there might have a tape of the
like,
episode. And
it's
here's,
just,
do we even know which episode it was? I
yeah,
think we
I
do,
think
right?
we,
Like
yeah,
the
we
exact,
found it. We found the episode. We did.
like
Yeah.
we know the exact episode, but it's like
Yeah,
even
it's,
that's hard to find though. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
difficult
it
to
was,
find the exact
yeah, it,
episode.
and, what else? What else was the, yeah, I
But
don't,
it's
you,
like once we found the episode, there's all these services that's like they could have it, but it's like they
oh,
have other
you know
episodes,
what?
but not that episode.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is yeah that, and also like like they would rerun episodes, but they would only like rerun certain episodes, and it was probably just like the bigger ones, and that one just didn't like because I remember we were trying to look at like the schedule or something like if they did
Yeah,
reruns,
yeah,
and they just
and it wasn't on the schedule
yeah
for
so
reruns
because
or
they
anything.
probably only rerun like the it just makes no sense like I
Yeah,
I've
so the only person that has it is either their office, which again they could have just gotten rid of the recordings at like
Yeah,
the
it's
studio,
that's just so it's so crazy.
and or just some random person that just happened to like tape record every single episode of Doctor Phil. Those are like the only two ways, and even then, it's like some people could have been using like their cable box to like record episodes to watch later, and then they were deleted. So
Yeah,
it's like even then, people that were willing to record might still not have them. It's so unlikely there's a recording out there.
yeah,
It's
it's
like
just
crazy.
crazy. It's crazy. It's lost media when it's I just I don't understand. Like
I could try calling the Dr. Phil's like studio and trying to like ask around. Like I could go for look for the episode.
I don't really know what that's gonna yield, but you know that's
Imagine like we just all this effort just to like, get a copy of the episode, like sign like an agreement as well to not copy or distribute it in any way. Like all that, like that's probably the reason why they won't sell it to anybody. They don't want it to be like copied and redistributed, which is
yeah, but I
crazy
think
because
they
people
would
could do
shut
that
it
with the other
down. They
episodes.
would
So
shut
it's
it
like God,
down because they
yeah.
it's not on any of the piracy. Like oh my gosh, I just
But we could just watch it. Imagine like going through all the effort and we just watch the episode and watch like we'll like eventually see it and like all the clips that are online are like the only interesting
that
parts.
yeah, I
Everything
was
else
about
is
to
just
say
like
that. I was about to say that. Yeah, it's possible, but I still just think the full episode I
what's
it's
another clip? He's like weed, LSD. He's like weed, LSD, mushrooms. What else? Adderall. He starts like listing all like the drugs he took. You remember that clip? He's like, yeah,
I
I've tried. He's like, I've tried weed, LSD, mushrooms, Adderall. Like a bunch of. He just starts rattling off a bunch of stuff that he does, and I'm like, whoa, what? But he's a rapper.
I just the cigarette thing was the main I think the standout. Pick them up off the street, keeps you up, suppresses your appetite.
That's survival right there. Cigarette as a man's best friend out here. I just pick him up off the street.
Pick him up off the street. Keeps you up. Suppresses your appetite. That was like
I
that was
survived.
didn't I make a clip of it or something and or you did or I think
Yeah,
it's
I think we both
it's
did.
probably in
We're
our
like, yeah,
DMs
survival
somewhere.
right there.
It's just like keeps you up, takes your mind
I
off things.
probably just
He
said
said
that.
takes your mind off things. That he also remember.
Yeah,
He's like
that's
keeps you
I
up,
said
takes your
that.
mind off. Yeah, yeah.
Keeps you up, takes your mind off things.
Suppresses appetite.
I guarantee I have a recording of that somewhere.
Yeah, like it's just a clip. Yeah, I think so.
Like I've recorded that so many times in like different devices.
And then remember
Yeah.
my like always my curiosity about cigarettes and stuff and like the that old
Yeah, and
thing.
I was like constantly trying to explain
Like
to you
you'd be
how
like
just
you would not like them. You were just like there's no way you would maintain it.
cigarettes a man's best friend out here. I'm looking, I definitely have it somewhere.
Keeps you up, takes your
It's
mind
just
off
hard
things.
to find.
Suppresses your appetite.
Keeps you up, takes your mind off things.
But
I think it's old. The guy recorded it a while ago.
yeah. I'm gonna be home soon though, so like I'm gonna have to go in like I don't know 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to quickly take a quick look.
You actually found it that fast?
Yes.
That's kind of crazy.
So a cigarette, man. It's a homeless person's best friend out here. Suppresses your appetite.
Say
Keeps you up.
keeps you up,
Takes your mind off
takes your
things.
minds off things.
I've
Keeps
been
you up.
cigarettes since I've been out here. You just pull them off the street.
Pull 'em off the
That's
street.
survival right there.
I didn't pay for ones.
I almost think we repeat it like a little funnier than he did. Cause like when he just says you just pull him off the street, like
Yeah.
when we say it, it's we're like you just pull him off the street. Like I feel like he honestly like I don't know his acting could have been a little sharper, you know like I think he
Dude,
could have
it wasn't an act. That was real.
like if what you really think there's 100% chance that wasn't just some I thought Dr. Phil like some of the stuff is like not. I mean, I don't know, but you know, I mean, the whole family
no, I'm
could have.
sure like the recorded stuff that we saw was like, I'm sure like he would just tell them like, oh, this is what I did. And, like, well, could we get footage of it? We want to get B-roll footage.
I don't know,
okay.
but
And they went out and they just
the
did it.
family could have just been
But
trying
I
to
don't
get.
think he was fully acting.
Because, dude, because we remember
I
there's
think this
no,
was, like,
there's literally no information on him like afterwards or anything, and that just seems like there's none of his rap. He didn't make any new music. Like, it just seems like really weird. Like the guy is not, he's nowhere, you know. And to me, that's just like, well, wouldn't we know what happened?
I'm fairly confident that it was like a partial, like I'm pretty sure like for the footage that we saw there was like some partial like recreation acting, but I do think that he was being genuine.
All right, well, I guess you have faith in that guy. I guess
Like,
you
I'm
think he's
pretty sure
trustworthy.
I think he's. I don't think